They are committed to my kids. They're committed to my family. They're committed to what I'm up to. When I say I'm going to throw a gala, they come and support me. And when I'm going to do X, Y, Z, they're there to support me.
That's 3 generations of powerful ladies featuring Grandma Donna, Nancy Eaton, and Kendra Laine. I'm Kara Duffy, and this is the Powerful Ladies Podcast.
Welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are.
We are very lucky today to have 3 powerful ladies, 3 generations from one family. So let's begin by introducing yourselves. We'll start with Kendra. Tell us your name, where you are in the world, and what you're up to.
My name is Kendra Laine. I'm in Dallas, Texas. So I'm the CEO of Sprinkled with Pink. We started the business about 6 years ago. And we are an e-commerce-based business, and we sell custom products. So custom apparel, bags, accessories, you name it, we embroider it and monogram it. And we've really developed an entire product line to suit. So it's been really exciting the last 6 years.
Amazing. And this is your second time as a podcast guest.
Yes. I think the last time we spoke was really the beginning of the business. And so much has changed.
Yeah. Beginning of the podcast, beginning of your business for sure. Yes. We also have Nancy here today. So Nancy, what's your full name? Where are you in the world and what are you up to?
My name is Nancy Eaton, and I am the owner and founder of a company called Inspired Living by Nancy Eaton. I am an organizer, but really what I do is transform people's lives and their relationship to physical things in their space and providing new possibilities that open up their lives through organizing their home. I'm a master KonMari consultant. I am also a holder of a WSET level 3 with distinction. And what I do is marry my interest in wine and pair it with organizing. So I do a lot of cellar management and really interested in expanding into entertaining and tastings and having everybody really realize what wine can do as far as bringing entertaining and the possibility of relationship to their home.
Love that. And last but certainly not least, we have Grandma Donna. So what is your full name? Where are you in the world? And what are you up to?
My name is Donna Middleburg. I live in Costa Mesa, California, in a 55 plus arrangement. And my job now is being grandma and being mother and being open to anything that comes along. Some interesting things always do. So, but anyway, I'm very excited about this podcast. A little nervous too. So anyway, onward and upward.
And you are also known as Instagramma and Party Grandma. Where did these names come from?
Yeah, I want that history. Whoa.
Sure.
We were on a family vacation in Mexico, and I'm not technologically smart at all. So my daughter,
wait, pause, because Grandma Donna can use Uber and all the things. So Grandma, you're way more technological than most people your age.
Thank you.
Literally, she's getting on an Uber every day. So
yeah. At any rate, it was at a time Nancy took my phone and put on Instagram on my phone, and I don't know, the word spread there at our vacation spot, and it got so every time whenever I went down to get into the pool, everybody would chant Instagramma, Instagramma, Instagramma.
Wait, so I have a slight edit to your story, Grandma. I have a different recollection of this. 6 years ago, we were making one of my first products was a floppy beach hat for Sprinkled with Pink.
Oh, right.
And Grandma was like, I must have a floppy beach hat. And so I was like, well, what do you want on it? And she said, I'm a badass. And I'm like, what? Like, okay. So we put I'm a badass on this floppy hat. And like, people are usually 20-year-olds are putting like tequila please and like, like light sayings, and grandma's like, I'm a badass. And so in her 55 plus community, I'm a badass. And she's like in the pool, like putting her peace sign up with the back of the floppy hat. And all these women are like, I want one of those. And then we went on vacation, like she's talking about, in Mexico, and we brought the I'm a badass hat, and she's posing in the pool again, being our model for Sprinkled with Pink. And we put her on Instagram, and we became Instagramma. And everyone is instantly drawn to grandma. And so, like, you're everyone's grandma. Everyone's calling her grandma. I'm like, who's this man, grandma? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, Grandma Donna. Literally, this random, like, 50-year-old man is calling her Grandma Donna. And so everywhere she goes, everyone just like flocks to you, like you're the Instagram grandma, like you're the influencer.
Okay, so I want to tell you the story about the other name, Party Grandma, which is my favorite story. We were in Dallas, Texas. I believe it was your graduation, Kendra.
Oh yeah.
And so the whole damn family was there. And so we went out at night and had a lovely dinner. And the other grandma was there. Kendra's other grandma was in the group. Anyway, we had this dinner, and then we said, well, we were talking about going home. And well, then of course the kids said, no, we're going to go dancing. Let's go dancing. We are going to go home now. So dear Betty, the other grandma, said, oh no, I got to go home. I'm going to go home. So I said, no, I'm not going home. I'm going to go. So I went with the kids and did the dancing, and the name Party Grandma was born, and it's really stuck with me. And I hope I can live up to it the rest of my life, because it's near and dear to me.
And the way we kicked off our wedding, which you were at, Kara, was Grandma. We asked her to give like the opening toast of the wedding, which was so special. And then she's like, okay, now cheers to Kendra and Travis. Like, I'm Party Grandma, so let's get this party started.
Well, I have never seen a wedding stand up at the same time and run to the dance floor. Like everybody got up because Grandma Donna told us to.
And Grandma, you had just had knee surgery, and you were like up there giving toast and dancing. So Party Grandma was partying through her knee replacement surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no time to waste. So don't sit there while the music starts.
Of course not. Every party I've ever been to that's involved someone from the Eaton family, you have been there. And I've seen you start the dance party. I've seen you be carried around on chairs. I've seen
Dolly Parton.
Strong young men lift you up over their heads.
Yeah.
Boyfriend Eric.
Yeah, so Party Grandma lives strong. And I also am sure that Party Grandma is leading the charge at your community as well, because there's no doubt that you're just like taking it easy when you're not hanging out with us. So this conversation's so special because it's not common to have 3 generations of powerful women from the same family. And I really want to know from you guys, like, what is it like knowing that maybe we'll start with you, Kendra, being at the end of this lineage right now. What is it like having these powerful women come before you?
That's a good question. I think, well, for me, I think it was different. I don't think I knew differently, like growing up. I think it was just the norm. So like my mom, when we were younger, they owned a car business. And so my mom was the CEO, and it was like, yeah, like, oh, women are CEOs. Like my mom works, she does this, like that's normal. And, it's just always having those women in my life be those powerful role models was always just something you did. It wasn't like an abnormal thing. So I think that like following suit is like, you just fall in line behind that. It's like, there's no other way to be. So, it was really, I just don't think it like clocked to me that it was like there was no other way to operate really. And I think my parents always held me accountable for like, I think sometimes people like baby kids, and of course, we always had that, but there's always like this accountability measure too. And so I think even as like young kids, like, or even our school did it, it's like, in 3rd grade, you're independent now. Like an 8-year-old, you had to like be your own person. And so I think that they really instilled that in us too, of being your own person, being accountable for who you are and who you are in the world and all of that comes behind it.
Mhm. And Nancy, you're in such a unique position because when you have events, when you have dinner parties or parties in general, it's very common for your friends to also be friends with your mom and your daughter, and for everyone to be surrounding you, be powerful ladies. Being in that sandwich position, like, what perspective do you have about the power of women and how the generational impact starts to show up?
So I remember, I wondered where entertaining really came from for me as a self-expression. And I would look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, my mom was totally inspiring me all the time. They had these crazy parties, adult parties, I might add, Harvey Wallbanger parties. They'd have all these weird drinks like grasshoppers and green drinks in there. And I mean, they just were very fun. Everything was always a fun. And she always had like a theme to it and really invited the people over and created community. That was my inspiration. That was where I learned to do whatever comes naturally to me. It's like Kendra said, it's like it's always been there. So I didn't really know that other people didn't really know how to do that or create and generate that for other people. Then I think with Kendra, I've just seen her grow and watch whatever we have present in our community, Kara and Mom, because we do this here, like the relationship that we've built inside of a network community that's really tight. She told me one time, she goes, I want to have friends like you do. I want to have that group. And she does now. She has a support system. She's smart. I mean, these kids are unbelievable. They're just really good people. And she really like took whatever that was on. And I just watch her in her company and with her husband, with her new baby, my grandson Henry. I just watch how she bees in the world, and she's tenacious. Yes, she's powerful. Yeah, she's strives for the best and always just like life's a game. She's going to make it happen. It's extraordinary. I'm just really hats off to her. And if I had 1% of that being like inspiring her, I'm thrilled to death.
Well, I think one of the things that you did too was, like, when I was younger, I really struggled with ADHD and a bunch of learning disabilities, and we found out some kind of weird hearing disability.
Yeah.
There's a weird story there. But I don't think I follow the normal like curve of who there's like the doctors and the lawyers and the whatever. And like I think my persona is much different and like curly Q than like a straight line. And so I think you really supported that and nurtured that development as a person, I think. Like you made sure that I went to all these right doctors and like putting things like, how does her brain work? And like everyone's like, I don't know.
Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but like supporting in the way that like it wasn't like it made me pigeonhole into someone else's, version of what success looks like. Or, I like in school, I was terrible in school. I do not like that. Still not good at test taking. But supporting me in the ways that I was successful and like always being like, let's try this. Let's go to science camp. Maybe you should code stuff. I don't know. A number of extracurricular strange hobbies that I tried was like very long until one stuck. And, let's try nonprofits. That one like really stuck for a long time in supporting people. So I think it was a long path to discover that, but I just thank you for like the support to get there and working through all the frustration.
Fun.
And for Donna, for you, like, were you setting out in life to create generations of trailblazing, badass women?
Never occurred to me. Never did. In fact, being powerful was not in my realm of living. In my younger years, I just was plodding, going through life, just like Below Joe and anybody else, everybody else. I had no thoughts about that. I had some goals as far as having a career, but other than that, I can't say that I gave that any thought until really much later in life. In fact, I guess you'd almost say recent, because it's been within the last, least the last 30 years being powerful has meant anything to me as far as attaining it, or was I like that, or it being important in any way to me.
If we
But-
go back to 8-year-old you, would she have imagined the life that you've had so far and what you're up to today?
Not at all. I was a kid living on the farm with my family, and having to do the chores. That's, that would be my remembrance of 8 years old.
Did you remember what you wanted to be when you grew up when you were at that age?
No, I did not.
Mhm.
I didn't know until I was in high school, and really it was not at the prompting of my parents, but a neighbor lady that I went to work for, picked her strawberries and did a few things around there for her. She had a daughter that was a nurse, and she started talking nursing to me. And so that's where I first got the feeling that might be for me. And so I attribute a big tribute to her.
Mhm.
And so from then on, I was just talking about being a nurse. But
So you have two sons, and then you had Nancy.
yes,
When she came, were you excited to finally have a girl? Like, were you like, did you have a plan for how to raise this perfect daughter you were going to have?
no, I don't think I can't say that I had a plan. I just knew that she was wonderful, and she was a little girl, and I was very thrilled about that. And I was so glad. I was very glad all during my pregnancy. I'd had 2 boys, and people would say to you, "Oh, I know you want to have a little girl, and won't you be disappointed if you don't have a little girl?" And that used to really make me mad when they'd say that. So, but I gotta tell you, when I was, you realize this is before sonograms and all of that. So I was laying on that delivery table, and they said, "Well, you got your girl." I got to tell you, I was really happy. And so, but it was just God bless me with her.
Yeah. And then the last question for you specifically, Donna, right now is like, as you've seen Nancy step into her power and become the woman she is, and then Kendra step into her power, how has that impacted you? And has that changed how you've thought about power for yourself?
Oh, definitely so. These two are essential in my life, and I just don't know. I don't know where I would be without them. I know I wouldn't be sitting here doing a powerful woman podcast. But let's see, what was I going to say? Tell me, what was my question? I forgot.
What was it like seeing Nancy step into her power and then Kendra step into her power? Like, how has that been to watch all of that unfold?
Well, it's just awesome. Just incredible. But I got to make a confession. I didn't really, I recognize how great Nancy was and how powerful she is. It was like after high school, after she was in high school, then I started to see, and I thought, boy, what a numbie. I thought, that's great. Yeah, I should have been more alert. I should have been more observant, because I probably could have been of some help in some areas. But at any rate, yeah, it was at high school that I saw the great potential for her, and I saw her just really not ever giving up if she was going after something. And well, it's just ballooned since then. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
And then Kendra, lordy, she's something else. The way she gets in there, and I mean, she just scratches around until the job's done, and she's just amazing. And I'm so proud of her. So I'm just such a blessed woman. I am.
I really get that description of the scratching around. Once Kendra is determined, it's happening one way or another. She will
Yes.
find the avenue.
And it's funny, no matter how old you get, how excited I have been with each accomplishment, of something great. If they accomplish something great, I kind of feel like they're still in third grade and they've done something great,
Yeah.
It's really a wonderful thing.
It's amazing how fast time goes by that it's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously over time, power and that definition has changed, and it being next to the word ladies gives it a different connotation usually. So starting with you, Grandma Donna, what does being powerful mean? And does powerful ladies mean something different than power by itself?
Well, power by itself can be disastrous, can be bad, but power also can be the ultimate good. And I just, as far as it's changing over a lifetime, it certainly does change. I think it changes in that you want, you've got the go get them and you wanting the power, you wanting to be successful and so on and so forth. And then as you get older, at least for me, I kind of want to spread out some goodness, spread out some good deeds and some good, and involve people into being powerful, or to at least doing something with their lives. I'm just really in my age, at my age and my age bracket, I just get really distraught about the many people that I know that they don't take any power, use any power to do anything. Past figuring out what restaurant they're going to go to tomorrow for lunch, they have no
Purpose.
It's purpose to to grab a hold of life and to use the power that they really have there.
Yeah. Well, the three of you have such unique powers, I think. So, like, Nancy, how has your view of power shifted as you've gone through different stages of life, as you're seeing power that Kendra has versus power your mom has? Like, how does that word evolve with you, like experiencing and seeing all of that?
I think in the past, my view of power has been something not very dominating for me, or like somebody else has it and I don't, or something I'm trying to get, or someplace I'm trying to get to. And at my age and where I'm at with my mom, my daughter, the world, I think it's something to come from, something to give to, something to make a difference with. And I would say, like, building my company, sharing it with my employees, my people I work with, the difference that I make for my clients is the phone. The difference I make for my clients would be sharing power, or having power be present for other people to step into their own, creating space for that. And, when I go places and I show up without my mom, people are like, "Where's your mom?" Like, you're probably not, you're not as welcome here without your mom. And like, my mom is my little touchstone, my little power source here. She's the charging box I can plug into. And she really is, shares her power in a way that people get bigger around her. They love her. They get energy, party grandma, Instagram, call her what you want, but she really provides fun and the experience of, being bigger around her. And I think as far as like when I Kendra and I are very, very close. That sharing of like what with somebody you love is really important. and giving somebody younger space to be themselves and grow up into whatever their experience of it is. I think it's really powerful for me, and I think it's really inspiring for them. And I can see where Kendra, like her, like, you know, she steps fully into the space, and she takes advantage of the entire space, and then maybe a little bit more.
Pushes it a little bit sometimes.
I love my relationship with Kendra. I'm so appreciative of her generosity of that, coming to me when there's a problem, or sharing with me great stuff. I think that's what you're asking me, Kara, but I kind of got on a rant. But
No, that was perfect. And then Kendra, you know, how has power changed for you now that you've stepped into, from the last time you're on this podcast, having a big team and other people that are counting on you to lead them, but now also becoming a mom in the past couple of months?
That's a lot. We're like a whole different person. 2019, Kendra. Well, I think before, like she's saying, like it's like you're like the domineering power. And so like before it was like, we have to do this, we have to do that. And it's like you're domineering, but also I was very gentle and I was very nervous about like what my employees would think of me. And it was very like, I have power, but also like do what you want. Like let's be friends. And it's like, that doesn't work. It's like very wishy-washy. And so now it's like, and I was really scared to like have accountability and have like these things that come with power. And so, and I think that was keeping my team and my friends and my relationships small. And so we talked about that a lot with my company the last month of like, how do we empower people to really grow up and have their own power and own it? And we really realized that like companies kind of disheveled, like everyone's kind of doing things, they know how to do them. And it was like, well, I'll just do it because like we haven't taught her yet and whatever. And I was like, we're really keeping these people small. And so the last year we've spent like empowering each department, and it's really allowed each person to really flourish and bloom and help our company grow. And then for me too, you know, letting go, I think is a power, and like trusting your team and your people and your husband to take care of the baby. So I can go from like working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and to working part-time and still having that power. And like, there was guilt there before of like, I'm not going to be there and I'm going to work less than my employees. And like, it's not powerful. And I'm like, no, it's so powerful. Like how badass that like I can work 3 days a week and like be a mom. And so, and I think that's like leading the way really of like, this is what a leader looks like. And I can lead even when I'm not there. So I think that's a huge shift, and like just being really intentional too, because you only get so much time with each segment of your life. And so being really intentional has really been my theme this year.
Grandma Donna, if you could go back and tell 20-year-old you something, what would you tell her?
What would I tell Kendra?
No, you at 20.
Oh. One moment. What would I tell? I would tell 20-year-old Donna to acknowledge that there is power and it can be yours, and that you need to be a decision maker that you haven't been too hot at your whole life, and to go forward, upward and onward, even if you're scared to do it.
Okay. Nancy, what about you? What would you tell 20-year-old you?
Well, I think the process of life and getting to know who you are and expressing that authentically is a process. So it's hard to tell 20-year-old you, hey, be authentic and be yourself, because you don't know how yet. But I think that's the key to being really super happy. And I think it's the key to having other people around you flourish, is really being authentic and being able to say truthful stuff to people that mean a lot to you. That I think is very powerful.
And what about you, Kendra? What would you tell 20-year-old you?
My mom stole my answer. Shoot. I
She
think that's
did.
true. I think 20 is like a hard age. Like I was thinking back as they were talking about like what like 18-year-old Kendra was like, because I was just graduating high school, and like in high school I was like this nonprofit start organizations and travel to Vietnam on medical missions, and then I went to this like really preppy Southern school, and like I think I lost myself for a little bit. And so I think really staying true to yourself is super important, and I think also knowing like your time and your energy are really valuable. So like prioritizing self-care. Because I think at that age also you're thinking about like, I have to be successful, I have to get good grades, I have to find a perfect job. And like no 22-year-old knows what they're going to do for the rest of their life, or 30 or whatever, like it
Yeah.
always can change. I think at that age you're just so worried about being so perfect and like having the perfect resume, and it doesn't matter. Like I think, prioritizing self-care and investing in yourself is so important even now.
Mhm.
So I think that those intentions and values are just something to prioritize.
So, being someone who's come from a lineage of powerful ladies and people, if someone doesn't feel like they have that and they feel alone and they don't have the support system that you've had, for example, Kendra, what would you tell them to be able to step into their power, and what advice would you give them?
It's a good question. Oh, that's so hard, because I feel like my support system's like one of your best assets. Because like
Mhm.
I need new tires, I'm calling my dad. Like I need a new washer dryer. Like,
Oh, my
Mom,
dad.
how do I hang these gallery? Like the number of times I've had like, just construction in our house, and I'm like, hold on, I'm gonna call my mom. I'm like, how high should the curtains be? Where should the frames go? Which way should the door? I don't know, just lame
Yeah.
construction stuff. But that happens like every day in like every aspect, little and big. How do I work through this relationship thing? How do I,
Mhm.
the more complex issues too. So having a good support system is so important. So I think if you don't have that from like your direct family, like you need to surround yourself with the right people. And it's
Ha-
just so important. But also like I think that people are like, oh, I have to have the funding, like, the Shark Tank stuff. It's like, oh, I have to get funding and I have to do this and I have to 10x my business. And, you don't need that. Like I started my business with $200, and, I had the business school at SMU denied me. It was 0.03% off my stupid GPA, and jokes on them, because look at me now.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to go to business school. You don't have to have all these resources. Like I tell my team, I'm like, none of you are trained in these areas. And I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm like,
Yeah.
Google it, be resourceful, figure it out, call someone who knows how to do it, click around. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know what the heck I'm doing. I still don't. Like, we're all guessing. And so I think just having the courage to just step out there and, find people who will help you.
Well, and your mother mentioned it too, that you've been really great at building your social network. How are you deciding who gets to be in your inner circle and who doesn't?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Well, I think we've always had like really good family friends. Like, we grew up in like this community of really just great people who have always been so supportive, and like second moms. I was also the only girl to a lot of my mom's friends. Like they all had boys. And so I like think I have like all these like 10 extra moms kind of. And so like you have all these extra powerful ladies that were always be my biggest cheerleaders. But I think I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, I've never had this drama with my friends. I was like, we don't really have drama per se. Like we don't have like these tiffs, or like it's just really easy. So I think making sure and taking that like community that my parents built like as like a playbook of like you have to make sure to surround yourself with people that work, especially for me who like has very very limited time. I don't have time for any of this bullshit. Like we don't have time for drama, we don't have time for like people like sucking the energy out of you. And it's really important. And I think we also keeping people accountable of like, hey, if you do this, like this doesn't work. There was some like fringe friend, and she did something, and I'm like, we don't do that as friends. Like we don't talk to each other that way. Like we lift each other up. And if you screw up, like you clean it up. Like you're like, hey, I screwed up. And you're like, okay, cool. Love you. We're good. But I was like, if you want to operate my friend group, I was like, these are like the boundaries. And then she was like, oh. I was like, so to me, they're like basic rules of relationships. And the same goes for my company, my friends, and my family. And even like my family does the same thing. They're like, you can't do that. Like, they're like, that got all over the whole family. Like, you need to go clean it up. Meaning, like, you need to go, like, be accountable for, like, the mess you just made and, like, apologize or whatever it is. So I think that those kind of themes kind of trickle through all the areas.
And Nancy, how about you? Like, how have you been selective about which powerful ladies make it into your VIP club, and how have those women changed your life?
Let's see. One of my passions in life are foster kids, and being an advocate for foster kids through court-appointed special advocates. And I think that group of people, they up to something, and it may be the fancy ladies that are participating, but those fancy ladies talk to the other fancy ladies who have, they come and they support what I'm up to. So there's that community. There's my parent group from, when the kids are going through school, that community, they, are committed to my kids. They're committed to my family. They're committed to what I'm up to. When I say I'm going to throw a gala, they come and support me. And I'm going to do X, Y, Z, they're there to support me. They like to come to my parties, and they also like to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And also there's like, I don't know, I think our family's really relied and been trained in transformational development and education through landmark education, and a way of speaking and listening that's really committed. And that's what I look for in people. Are they listening to me like who I am and what I'm up to and what I say I'm passionate about? And are they up to like supporting that and calling me to account for that? That answers the question, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then, of course, you as well, Grandma Donna, like, you are quite the social butterfly. You always have all these activities happening at the community that you live in. How are you choosing who gets to hang out with Party Grandma?
I kind of lean toward the women that still cook and that have some other interests like handwork or cross stitching or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I really try to avoid actually quite a number of people that have nothing to talk about but their last doctor's appointments and their new medicine and blah, blah, blah. That is so boring to me. And so, you kind of take that into account when you join in with a group of people.
This podcast was almost called The Awesome and the Up to Something. And I think all three of you have hit on how you guys are up to things, which means you want the people around you to be up to things. And it doesn't mean running these mega businesses. It doesn't mean it doesn't have to be these big things that there's so much pressure, I think. But it's, are you up to being a contribution to your community, to your neighborhood? Are you up to being there for other people? Are you doing things that light you up? Because it is so easy, I think, to fall into a very almost boring wheel of like, I just do these three things and that's who I am. And it's easy to become one-dimensional with all the pressures that people have with time and resources or whatever else. So I do think it's a unique thing to be looking for who is being awesome and up to something, and are they really there for other people versus just for themselves? So there is a big celebration that is being planned and coordinated. What is that celebration? What might I be talking about?
For those of you 90.
Yes. How does that feel? And are you excited about that?
I'm excited about it, and I'm a little nervous about it. And I wonder if, should I really go for this huge celebration about me? But we're going to, and I'm going to love it. And we made our first plunge today and bought some stuff for the party, napkins and that kind of stuff.
It's so stinking cute. Oh my gosh.
And bright and
it's beyond
spring-like, and I love it.
Bright yellow, bright green. It's amazing. White. It's beautiful. We got
Okay.
napkins, we got decor. We're hitting the ground running. We're going to go do invitations next. So they're right in line with that.
Well, it's such an amazing milestone. And I think what I find so inspiring from you, Grandma Donna, is that you are redefining what every age you have ever been that I've met you at should mean, right? And I think it's so incredible to see how you are the definition of like age is just a number. So who wants to keep up? Like you're still putting people younger than you like to bed earlier, hence the party grandma, right?
Yeah.
There's people who are going to a party and sitting in a corner not talking to anyone. That's never you.
Not hardly.
No. So it's like it's just so great to see that I almost feel like your vitality is increasing.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it looks that way. As long as I can keep people, as long as people keep coming to me and saying, I want to be like you when I grow up, that's a
Good sign.
a lovely thing for people to say, and I get tickled about it.
Well, I've asked Kendra and Nancy before, so I'm going to ask just you today, Grandma Donna. How would you rate yourself on the Powerful Lady scale? If 0 is average everyday human and 10 is the most powerful lady you can imagine, where would you put yourself on that scale?
Oh my goodness. I'll say a 5, but you think that's pretty good, don't you?
No, I don't think that's good enough. Yeah.
Well, see, that is really a problem that I've had, if it could be called a problem. I just have a hard time to accept that maybe I'm extraordinary. I did this session about being extraordinary, and what I finally got out of the whole lecture series was that I needed to accept being extraordinary, and I just think that really sounds selfish, but anyway, I kind of like it too.
I love it.
We have to show you one thing, Kara.
Yes.
Mom may have to stand up because she's a 4'10". So stand up and show them your shirt. This is, I think it's from 2018.
Yes.
It goes backwards in there, but
it looks correct for me. She's for those of you who are just listening, she's wearing her I Am a Powerful Lady t-shirt, the first t-shirt we launched from the Powerful Ladies annual International Women's Day celebration. So that is certainly a shirt that you deserve to be wearing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I found it in the back of my closet today, and I thought, this is the day to wear it.
This is the day. So to wrap up today's conversation, I'd like to go around again, and I'd like you to answer 2 things. One is, what do you wish for the other women on this podcast? And how can we help you? What do you need? What would you like? We'll start with you, Grandma Donna.
Ooh. What I wish for Nancy and Kendra is to maintain and always be ready to be as much as they are today, except they will keep on keeping on and enlarging and exploding. I know that will happen. Well, I just have a wish for people to still like me, to remember me as party grandma, and I know you'll do your part in seeing that happens.
I sure will. I will be there with bells on. Yes. Nancy, how about you? What do you wish for these 2 incredible women, and how can we help you?
Let's see. So for my mom, I really wish that she be celebrated in an extraordinary way for being 90, but just not being 90, just an extraordinary 90. My mom is so healthy. She's so with it. She, like Kendra said, she doesn't think she knows technology. Sure, she messes it up, but I'm telling you, she can text, she can send emails, she can send you a picture of something. And, that's about all you need to do.
Yeah,
that's it.
She gets on Zoom calls. She can do a lot of stuff. But my real wish is that she really experience how people see her and take that on and really take it in, soak it in, and live the rest of her life inside of that. The love people have for her. For Kendra, it's such an explosive time of your life, like your age and having the baby, having everything that's happening right now. It is really quick. Everything's happening so fast, just to really stop and take a breath and really experience every day, every moment as special as it is. And it's it's just really an amazing time in life. I just love watching it. So that's what I wish. And what do I need help with?
Or what do you want?
Or what do I want?
For you, just for you.
I want to continue to explore my authenticity and who I am every day, moment to moment, and be that with my clients and my family and my community. Always, I want to be always giving to my passions and what I say is important.
All right, Kendra, last but certainly not least, what do you wish for these two ladies, and what's on your wish list for you?
I think for both of them, I think we've never sat down and been like, you're a powerful lady, or there's always you're the best mom, and we say these things and we mean them, but I think truly getting who people are for you, I think is really important to make sure that you really get it. And I think both of them kind of do this thing of yeah, okay, whatever. And it's no, you really are this powerful source in your communities and your families and your businesses, or whatever. I mean, my mom's is best friends with the checkout people. I'm what? Or that guy in the pool is Grandma Donna. She's everyone's Grandma Donna. And that doesn't happen to people, And so I think that they're this radiating source for so many, and the post lady or the checkout people, or anyone that you typically are not having a relationship with. But it's contagious, I think. And so I think it's really important to make sure that you really get who you are for people, and how important it is.
And what's on your wish list? How can we help you?
I think a lot of my past has been running towards something. And so it's I have to get to this, and then I'll have this, or I have to do blah, blah, blah. And when I have this kind of house, or, whatever. And I think I'm finally to the spot where I can which is really weird because it took having a baby to slow down, which is the weirdest thing. And it's not slow by any means. Very sleep deprived, and it's constant. But at the same time, it's slow and it's peaceful, and it's enjoying the present versus trying to figure out and aim for this distant thing where you can't enjoy where you are. So I think I just want to hope that I continue that and enjoy the present, whether that's with friends or family or business or whatever.
Well, it has been such a pleasure for you guys to share your afternoon with me. I'm so thankful to have all of you in my life always. And then to get to share you guys with this audience today has been really special. For everybody who wants to follow and support you guys, where can they do it? Kendra, we'll start with you.
Quite long. Sprinkled with Pink Shop is us on Instagram.
And that's also your website, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Nancy, how about you?
On Instagram, it's Nancy Eaton Inspired Living, and my website is nancy-eaton.com.
Wow.
And Grandma Donna, where can everybody follow you so they can keep up with this party grandma?
No, well, my email is donnametalberg@gmail.com.
Okay, love it.
You always can just send me a message. I like that better.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been amazing. I adore and love all of you. So just thank you for being a yes to me and the Powerful Ladies.
Thank you, Kara.
Thank you.
You're the source for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Kara.
All the links to connect with Grandma Donna, Nancy Eaton, and Kendra Laine are in our show notes at thepowerfulladies.com. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening and leave us a rating and review. Join us on Instagram at Powerful Ladies And you can connect directly with me at karaduffy.com or Kara_Duffy on Instagram. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Until then, I hope you're taking on being powerful in your life. Go be awesome and up to something you love.